I've been an iPhone user for the last 10 years and honestly, it's starting to get a little stale. I've also been testing the S25 Ultra and here's the thing, when I pick up both these phones, they look and feel very similar. Titanium frame, glass front and back, the camera module tucked away on the top left corner, and rounded corners, all of that. But when I actually use them, that's when the gap shows. The software experience is completely different. The iPhone feels like a safe, controlled space, a walled garden if you will. The Samsung feels like a toolbox that you can actually use. So in 2025, does the hardware even matter anymore, or is it all about the software? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to a new video, and if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Glad you're here, where I make content around tech, accessories, and my experience with it to try to help you out. And in this video, we're going to be directly comparing the S25 Ultra with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And not just like spec sheet numbers comparisons, because let's be honest, that's kind of boring, but more like my experience and day-to-day kind of lifestyle with both phones across these few months that I've been using them. So let's get started. The state of smartphones in 2025 is such that there's an illusion of choice. Now, this concept isn't a new one, but it's becoming more and more real in the smartphone world. Take the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the S25 Ultra, for example. They both have titanium frames, glass front and back, and a camera module that's tucked away in the corner. They both have high refresh rate displays, 120 Hz of course. They both have a crazy peak brightness. They both have wireless charging, fast charging. They have everything. Smartphones today across almost every budget are getting so good that the hardware is no longer the main selling point. So you get confused. Do I get the iPhone with the fancy titanium frame and glass front and back? Or do I get the Samsung with the fancy titanium frame and glass front and back? Do I get the iPhone with the high refresh rate, curved corners, and high resolution camera? Or do I get a Samsung with the high refresh rate, curved corners, and high resolution camera? Or do I just get the Pixel 9 Pro that has all those features as well? The truth is, hardware just doesn't matter anymore. At least not as much. The real divide is the software. See, when you pick up these phones, they feel the same, they look the same, but as soon as you unlock them, that's when the difference hits you. It's no longer about the titanium, the glass, or the cameras, or any kind of curved displays or whatever. It's about the software. And that's where the gap really shows. iOS 18 on the iPhone wants to feel modern. You get widgets now, you get an app library, there's an always-on display, but the moment you try to do something that Apple doesn't want you to, you hit a wall. Meanwhile, One UI 7 on the S25 Ultra, it feels like a fully loaded toolbox. Fewer bugs than ever, super clean aesthetic, and endless ways to customize how your phone looks, feels, and works. It may not be perfect, but it's yours. And some could argue that that is perfection. So while the hardware has become a game of like copy-paste, the real difference in 2025 is the software experience. And that's what actually changes how you use your phone every day. So obviously customization and control is a prevailing difference between Android and iOS, but iOS 18 allows you to finally have widgets on the home screen, it has an app library, it has an always-on display, and these are nice upgrades, but it's still limited in control and customization. You can't change the app icons without any kind of hacks or using the Shortcuts app or something, which is super annoying. There's no system-wide theme or font, you can't tweak how apps behave or how the UI works. It's just Apple decides and we live with it. In contrast, in One UI 7 on the S25 Ultra, you have a plethora of customization that you can do. From themes to fonts to icon packs to notification shades and the app tray carousel and everything. You can just change so much and it can be a little bit overwhelming, but it's actually out of the way if you don't want it to bother you. And we can't forget Good Lock. This is like a dedicated app to customize kind of every single little bit of the software you want, if you want. And that's the point. If you want, you can set up your S25 Ultra exactly the way you want it. It feels like your phone, not just a phone. On the S25 Ultra, I have the option to change how the app tray or multitasking switcher or whatever behaves and looks, which is amazing to see. I can make it like iPhone, like it is right now, or I can change it to a grid, which looks like this. That's what it looks like. It's kind of like the iPad. Or I can change it to a vertical list, which looks like this. I can change it from looking like this to looking like this, so it's easier to reach with one hand. But on the iPhone, you kind of just get what you get. You can't really change it. So yeah, we always knew the difference between the customization on Android versus iOS, and how iOS is kind of playing catch up and it's like kind of stuck in the past, but that's not the only thing that is stuck in the past about. Okay, so the notification system on Android versus iPhone or iOS is more or less now the same in 2025, but there are some key differences that I prefer on Android and that I really wish iOS had. One of them is that there's just random like vibrations that I get on the iPhone that I don't get on the Android. And even if I do get them, there's also a notification history on Android. But the major flaws in the notification system on the iPhone is that there's too many stacks of the same app. Like, I guess my whole point is that it's not as smart as on Android. And the next major flaw in iOS is that there's no integration of notifications in the status bar, which is super annoying. On iOS 18, it's basically a static icon strip. Battery, Wi-Fi, a couple of indicators, and that's it. If you want details, you have to pull down the notification panel and control center every time. On Android 15 and One UI 7, the status bar actually works for you. You get full info at a glance. Battery percentage, network type, notification icons, data speeds, and more. It's the little things like this, the stuff you use every day, that makes Android feel more special and useful. The iPhone status bar just takes up space. Now there are some minor differences as well, and one of them is the actual settings for the notifications. On iOS 18, you have system level notification settings, and then each app has its own notification settings inside the app itself. So you end up checking both places, and it feels redundant and confusing because they're the same settings. But on the S25 Ultra, it's simple. There's just app by app settings, and if you want even more customization or control, Good Lock has you covered. Another minor difference is the notification summaries on iPhone. Now, I actually turned this off because I don't really use it. It actually, in fact, comes in the way. I definitely tried it, trust me, I gave it a shot, but it just wouldn't really serve me as I wanted to, or it didn't save me time or energy or anything like that. It just kind of got in the way. But anyways, the notification management system on both iOS and Android is pretty good now in 2025, but I still prefer Android because it has all these convenient features, and not to mention, you can go ahead and customize every single little thing on Android, especially on the S25 Ultra, using Good Lock. I definitely prefer the Android notification system over the iOS notification system. Now we get to my favorite part of the comparison, the multitasking capabilities on both. And this part is going to be short probably, especially the iPhone side, and that's because we can just list down what it does have, because it doesn't have a lot. Basically, what you can multitask with is the dynamic island up here, and that's pretty much it. No, but seriously, you do get like multitasking capability here and there, but dynamic island and picture-in-picture mode are really the only two multitasking capabilities that I use on a more regular basis on my iPhone, but I would use more if there were more. And oh my god, on Android, you have so much more. You have true split screen multitasking, you have true pop-up apps that you can minimize into like a window type thing, just like on a computer. You have Dex, which turns your whole phone into like a mini computer. You have like picture-in-picture mode even without like having YouTube Premium or something. Leave a comment down below if you want to see a video on how to do that. You get all this multitasking capability on Android side of things, especially Samsung, like I said, on the S25 Ultra. So yeah, it's not even a competition between these two in terms of multitasking in 2025. The S25 is far superior than the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and that's just facts. And now we get to my least favorite part of this comparison, which is AI between both of these phones. Now, this may also be simple because it's pretty easy to talk about the iPhone. It kind of sucks. Apple released Apple Intelligence with the release of the iPhone 16 phones, and these features are mainly consisting of writing tools, notification summaries, enhanced Siri, image editing. But the ones that I was excited for but stopped using because they suck is notification summaries, enhanced Siri, and the image editing. Writing tools is still okay. Whereas on the S25 Ultra, the AI goes hard. You got Gemini and Bixby working together. You got Circle to Search, you got AI editing in photos, you got AI summaries. There's also this Now Brief and Now Bar on the S25 Ultra, which kind of summarizes the day for you and kind of shows you what you want to see based on the AI. But I honestly turn this off. It's not really that helpful, but I can see how it's useful for some people. There's just so much more AI stuff on this phone, the S25 Ultra, than there is on the iPhone. And unfortunately, it's not even funny. Everyone else, including the S25 Ultra, are using stuff like Galaxy AI, which directly means Galaxy Artificial Intelligence. They're not trying to hide the fact that it's AI. They're not trying to like make it some big thing. They're just trying to roll out features that actually help users like you and me. Like you and me. Whereas Apple is too busy trying to figure out whether to call it Apple Intelligence or Artificial Intelligence or even intelligent at all. So yeah, like I said in the beginning of the video, the hardware really matters very less nowadays, especially because now everyone has a glass front and back, titanium frame or some sort of metal frame, cameras that are like super high resolution. But what really differentiates each phone from each other is its software experience for the user. In the case of the iPhone 16 Pro Max, it's the iOS 18 experience, and in the case of the S25 Ultra, it's the One UI 7 experience on top of Android 15. It is what it is, that's the case in 2025. Hardware matters less, software matters more. And focus on bringing the good features to each phone and taking out the bad features, especially the bugs, please. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed, definitely let me know by leaving a like, subscribe to see more, and comment down below, what's your preference, Android or iOS? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in one of these two videos or in the next one. Bye.